Hi, I'm Ketriana Yvonne, and today's guest is Hazel Lynch, a writer of Senor Fluffy. She is joining us from Trinidad, and this is the Ketriana Yvonne Show, virtual, bringing you the best of the best. It's Poetry Month, and I want to tell you a little bit about Hazel. Hazel, I met at the Brooklyn Library in Brooklyn, New York, and we were in several writing workshops together, and everyone would share their work. And she's someone that transforms children's fairy tales into, how should you say, they could be seductive other stories. And but now she's introduced the world to Fluffy, Senor Fluffy from Paris, who had to come to Brooklyn. And I'll leave that to her, but she is a fantastic writer. And if you have children, if you're an adult and this is a must read that you must read. So thank you for joining us today, Hazel. Tell us
Thank you.
about yourself and what you want to share with your journey and how you came up with the concept for Fluffy.
Thank you for having me, Ketriana. Well, how I came up with this, the book. Tell me about myself. How I came up with this story, Senor Fluffy, a Cat's Tale. I was at a function at Granami Library, and one of the my fellow writer, I found out that his pseudonym was Senor Fluffy. And I got so excited by these two words, and I didn't know why just Senor Fluffy, why am I so excited? So I said, Bryce, will you tell me how you came up to have this pseudonym? And he started to tell me. I didn't hear anything after that. All I was thinking, or voice in my head, was saying to write a story about a cat from Paris. His name is Senor Fluffy. Don't write about a poodle. And I was like, what's going on? What am I hallucinating? What's going on? And the story has been in my head since that day, and it never left. And all I do is think of like things to add to it, and sometimes like it just come naturally. And Senor Fluffy, a Cat's Tale is really about a cat, a French cat with a Spanish name, who lives with his rich human. One day, for reason unbeknownst to him, she leaves to go to Brooklyn, and he don't like that because he's very highfalutin. He's a cat with pedigree. And why would she want to go to Brooklyn of all places? She should take him to Switzerland or someplace, Rome, Italy. And then when he comes to Brooklyn, now we have to live life like an actual cat. I mean, he is a cat, but he have to live life a different way. Have to sleep on the floor, have to eat whatever she eat, and then along the way he makes some acquaintances. So it's just like life on the other side of the pond. Is the grass really green on the other side? And it's very enjoyable. It teaches a lot of story, compassion, how to people with differences, and a lot of stuff, friendship, a lot of stuff. And this is Senor Fluffy, Cat's Tale. This is it here.
And the illustration is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. It was done by Candy McGregor. She's a Canadian graphic artist.
Yeah. Okay. I have to get her information too. People usually ask me for illustrator. Yeah. So you had this concept for the book, and then you finally followed your
Yes.
intuition, so should we say, which is a wise thing to do. That did you feel like when you first had that thought in your head, like why is that sticking with me? Did you just go with it from the beginning, or did you have some kind of resistance?
I went with it from the beginning because I remember asking if anyone had paper, and then I got somebody give me napkins, and I just started to write it right there so I wouldn't forget. And it was like somebody was telling me the story in my head, and I was just writing, and I had a good couple of napkins, and I was excited to be at the function, but I wanted to go home so badly just to write down these lines. And when I reached home, it was like I knew like what I wanted to write is just like the pen was writing. It's like the pen, or I don't know, it was just weird. And the story was just, and then when I read it, I was like, wait, I think I'm onto something. This is like a story. And then after I say, well, maybe I can make this into a series. It's pretty funny to see. It's like life through a cat eyes. He's telling the story, so because growing up, I always used to wonder, like sometimes when you see like ants on a wall on the ground, you ever notice that they always stop and like greet each other? Yeah. So I always, when I was growing up young, I always used to wonder about the animals, what they think. Sometimes I'll sit up and what, like, yeah, a cat, a
Well,
dog, and I always wonder, like, what they do have feelings like us? Like if something happened to them with their parents, I always had these thoughts. So that is something that always stick with me. I think I'm a big child, or I don't know.
well, Fluffy certainly has a mind like a human, and he is hysterical.
Hmm.
To just hear his story and his thoughts about being bougie and coming to Brooklyn and what a going to a bodega and just everything about it is just so enlightening and just delightful. It just lifts your spirit, and it just and his character has become real because when I see you with the actual Fluffy and
Yes,
you place him, it's like, where's Fluffy today? Right? He's
mhm,
at a cafe, he's on a
yeah,
bench, and today he's left somewhere else. So Fluffy is doing his thing in Brooklyn and, with or without you. You know what I
yes,
mean? He has
mhm,
a life of his own. And for that to come into your head, and I know it's other stories that came in, because you're just brilliant, and that's just the style
oh,
that you have to transform these stories. But this one, you kind of like, usually it would be the children's stories, and you kind of turn them into adult stories. But this one, you
yes,
actually kept as it's children, but it's adult as well.
yeah,
Um, so that was a little different. And you followed it. You followed the thing that came into your head. And like I said, I commend you because I remember from, day one and how something comes like you writing at the library and being a part of some of the other anthologies they had,
yeah,
and just how it's been a number of people that have written books, but I do follow people, and my vision for where Fluffy's going is Fluffy's Fluffy's going to take you to Paris, okay?
yep,
Maybe that's the sequel. Like Fluffy goes
yes,
back,
but
and but it's a whole different story. Maybe that'll be your perspective from going there
yeah,
then. And it's like you did such a wonderful job at creating this entity of a imaginary cat that
uh,
is really alive, almost person that we would we would kind of meet in Brooklyn, which
yeah,
is so funny. And just him coming here and what he thought, like living in a, what was it, a one bedroom?
yes, a
Yeah, like he
studio
can't be
apartment, yeah.
serious. Yeah. But I just have to commend you because I tell you, you are doing a fantastic job.
Oh.
Hazel's in Trinidad, and what's the name of the store? Quills and
Scribbles and quills.
yeah. So I think that was the first time you had, maybe it wasn't your first book signing, but it
Hmm.
started out there, and that was in a mall in Trinidad, and then from there you've been in the newspapers, and you're in the Brooklyn Public Library, which is an accomplishment. So
Thank you.
wait a minute, let me get my tambourine. You need some. Oh well, yeah, that's what you get. Make some noise for Hazel. Yeah, so you're doing it. I am so proud of you, and I just can't wait to see where you end up. Even though I already know where you're gonna end up. So trust me. You know, the thing that you don't know, like my show, no, it's not a show where I want to interview everyone. It's just people that I'm called to interview. So
Right.
people that will be the legends of the future. So you will be a legend of the future. And
Oh,
they'll be like,
thank
oh, I
you.
remember. So yeah,
Wow.
so can you share like how that whole, I guess your, the whole, just your motivation every day to just keep coming up with new ideas, what you could do with, where could Fluffy be today? What could you do? What's your process? How has that been stimulated as far as just staying motivated to keep pushing?
Well, the how I stay motivated, I think, is because from a child growing up in Trinidad, I don't know how old I was, could be about 7 or younger. I don't know if it was a dream or what. I always used to tell my parents one day I'll be a writer. I'll say I'll be so famous you wouldn't believe. And I used to say that around the house like every day, but I don't know if anybody used to take me on frankly. But I always used to write in journals. Well, back
Mm-hmm.
then it's not a diary, same thing, but when I went away and I came back, all my journals were gone. But I see Senior Fluffy being something big.
Right.
It's like I dream that, or I have this idea that I'm going to take this book to the top. Yes, it's because I guess it's my first. I don't know, but I've seen a lot of big things for this book.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to stay motivate myself, even some days when I'm maybe not feeling so, because the end of the thing is like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I know where I want
Mm-hmm.
to be, so I have to drive myself, and sometimes you stop procrastinating to
Right.
like this is your end game. This is where you want to be. I cannot just get up some days and don't write. You have to write. You have to finish it. To get to the next level and the next level and so forth. So you have to motivate yourself. You have to have faith. Be consistent. Like talk to yourself. Put on your goals. I have all my goals. What I want to do. How far I want to reach. I want to take him to the food. How far I could and more. And one of my goals was to get into the New York and Brooklyn Street Library. I don't just want to stop there. Hey, if I could go all over and international, yes. That's my aim. I just don't want people in Trinidad and different, like two countries know about him. I want Cine Fluffy to be like a worldwide, and it's not just for children because I think everybody can learn something from this story. No matter as a child, as an adult, to an adult, you can learn something from anything, any story. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to keep yourself motivated. No matter what you do, you must have faith and you must believe in yourself. Don't matter. Sometimes people come into your life and they wouldn't be for you.
Mm-hmm.
They would be like against you. Don't be around negative people because negative people and situation is like a weed. Sometimes people don't see all your hard work, but they want to like enjoy the whatever coming your way, and you just have to stay off from negativity and stuff and
Right.
stay positive and have faith and believing in yourself and stuff.
Right. That's so true. And you have to protect your energy, your space, and
Yeah.
just focus. Look, just
Mhm.
focus on
Focus,
Fluffy,
yes, yes.
because people will come and try to steal your joy or discourage you. And I hope that that's not happening. I mean, I did partake in your mixer that I thank you so much for inviting me. And even in that space, it was like just to see what, everyone was like, Hazel,
Yes.
oh, Hazel invited me. Hazel invited me. And so the energy that you're putting out is what you're going to get back. So that's all you need to focus on and keep
Yeah.
your energy clean and, positive. And, the whole journey will just be wonderful experience because it's so many people that everyone, I mean, pretty much we would probably say the same. Everyone's a writer.
Yeah.
Some of them don't know it
Yes.
yet. Well, what do we call people are writer if you pick up a pen and write on paper?
Yes.
And I have not in all the workshops, and I haven't been a writer for as long as some people. It wasn't like my dream. Like you said, you knew you was going to be a writer. I did not know I was going to be a writer. I knew I would write a book,
Mhm.
maybe a memoir, or it was a book that I wanted to write. It was more like a workbook for someone that, like, connecting to someone, finding someone, and sort of like tips and how to make those relationships work. And that is something I still will do. But that was it. Never was it going to be poetry. So
Yeah.
um, you never know what's going to happen or how life changes and what comes up. But you
Mhm.
just have to follow when that voice comes and listen to it. And, so I'm curious to see. And it is interesting because Fluffy, it's also another writer that I know. She had an ebook that was Fluffy the cat, and
Well,
that Fluffy was pretty big too.
oh,
And I don't know if you know Sally. You know Sally Connors?
mhm.
Um,
I don't
she made
know.
Yeah. So anyway, she had her cat book out there too, and it was Fluffy. I thought, well, Fluffy's getting to be real
Oh,
popular as a cat now. And but like I said, you just took it to a whole different level, and you have your products that you sell. um I just give you like 5 stars for everything you're doing, because you are on the right track, and you are heading to back to Paris.
yes, that will be the last book.
They'll
So you have to
probably
take
have
this back
like
to
some kind of
Paris.
yeah, that would be really cool. Okay, let's work on that. So
Yeah.
so they probably got like a poetry festival or something in Paris, and that would be perfect for Fluffy to be the leader in
Yeah. Yeah.
going back,
Right. Yeah.
representing, going home to represent his story. So I'm gonna just picture how that's gonna look.
Yeah.
And yeah, and
I,
how and tell us, how has it been, like, so you transitioned from somewhat like Fluffy. You came from Trinidad, you came here. I'm
mm.
not sure how long you was here, but tell us about living in Brooklyn and then transitioning, going back. And if you're coming back to us, or have we lost you to your home? What is your
Yeah.
latest?
Um, I don't know. It's strange to be back home really after living away for so long. I was away like 17, I think, plus years,
Hmm.
which is a long
How
time.
many?
I think 17.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time, but it don't look, to me, it's not that long. Because
Uh-huh.
time flies so fast. But I haven't been here for so long, so it's been 3 years now since I've been home. But it's so strange for me to be back home because to me, I was much younger and then I was into certain things. I used to go out plenty, and then with the COVID, I think too, coming back home is just I'm just in the city every day, and then I'm just home city, and I do nothing, no extra
Mhm.
curricular activities. When I was in Brooklyn, I was into everything, writing workshops.
Well,
I
you have,
park.
I mean, just like being there, it's not like, yes, things change for us as
Mhm.
well. So you wouldn't be here
Yes,
doing,
yes.
yeah. So you have to take all that, like, things have really shifted here.
Mhm.
For the most part, everything's pretty much on virtual, outdoor dining. It would
Mhm.
be, I think you would be probably a little shocked of how we're functioning in New York.
Functioning, yeah.
And yes, they're trying to come back. But I think for the most part, like even for me, I think what's been adopted is that the whole indoor thing is being rethought.
Mhm.
The remote working, remote virtual, especially like virtual writing workshops, so forth. Everything has
Mhm.
opened up so much more of the world to connect
Yes.
us. And
Mhm.
it's been a good thing. I mean, yes, we went to writing workshops in Brooklyn. We would go to the library, or we would go
Yes.
to ethical culture, which you also know, I don't know if you know, is being sold. And it's one of the highest priced buildings in Brooklyn. I think it's
Yes.
going for like
Oh.
33 million.
If I had money, I would buy it.
Yeah.
Just have
Yeah.
workshops and
Yeah, it was a great place to write. And
yes, yes.
But
Beautiful.
it's, but I'm just saying so many things have changed. So don't feel like you're missing that much activity.
No,
Because
no.
from what I can see, you're having more going on there than what's going on here, because it's, even though like it's sort of like a choice thing. Some people
Yeah.
have gotten back to their normal, and it's like you had to
Mhm.
create your new normal. And I had to
Yeah.
do that a long time ago. Some
Yeah.
people are just creating their new normal, like when things in their mind goes back to normal.
Mhm.
But I'm like, you better do what you got to do. It's been I think opened up more opportunity, for writers. I
Yeah.
think, to connect to people. I know I had writing workshops, and it's a great writer in Canada, Crystal, people that was in Turkey. That wasn't possible. Even though the human experience of writing next to someone and
Yes.
knowing people, I think even for me, because I think I mentioned to you before how I was writing online for probably as long as I've been a writer, and or poetry.com, and how it's just people that don't know you, but i
Yes.
felt i felt more supported in a way from people that you don't know. And so
Yes.
when someone says they like your writing, that's, oops, always like, because I write to inspire.
Yeah.
So whenever I hear that there's a comment that was inspiring, and
Yeah.
like my heart just flutters, because I'm like, oh, that's my purpose.
Yeah.
You feel like
Yes.
you achieved that.
I
So in
experienced that
six,
a lot.
so in 6 words, and that's usually what I ask people. Like, so in 6 words, as a writer, what would you say is the reason that you write?
The reason that I write, huh, I don't know. I just think that, that's a kind of tough question, you know.
All right, but I'll leave that to you to come up with 6 words for your reason. I think if I had, let me see, if I had to describe why you write, I think you transform the planet through not like visualizing fantasy, and I don't
Hmm,
know, and you give it a whole different interpretation.
different spin on stuff. Yes. I take fiction to a whole nother level, I think. Or the
Hmm.
or fairy tales, I always study if, like, okay, for Senior Fluffy, I wanted to write that cat story. I think, okay, if I am a cat, what would I do in certain situation? If I could speak, I live with a human, she treats me so. So I put
Right,
myself in all the characters, all my characters position and say, well, if I was a cat or a rat or a bird, a parrot, this is what I'll do in certain situation. I have a friend in Florida. When she read it, she said, "Oh my God, this is you in person. All these characters are you." I said, "No, I'm not like that." She said, "You, yes, you are." Since you were small growing up, that these, especially Senior Fluffy, oh my God, that is you, girl. It's like, hell no. Then I say, maybe yes. I guess I'm a bit, but I'm not like bougie or anything. She's like, yeah, okay. I say sarcastic, yes, very sometimes, yeah, but
uh-huh,
yeah, very. I love to laugh a lot. Senior Fluffy don't
uh-huh.
really, but I love to laugh a lot.
Hmm.
And I'm a
I don't
people person.
I don't know if I see you as full. You might have, well, maybe that's something I don't know. I mean, I
Mhm.
think you've always been, just a very likable, real person, and
Oh,
we have
thank you.
our Leo thing going on and our leopard. So we always had that in common.
Yes, yes,
So yeah, so that makes us special.
yes, yes.
So, and if Fluffy had a sign, what would the sign be?
If you have a sign,
Yes. Like
what
if
do you mean?
Fluffy, like would Fluffy have a birthday?
Yeah, well, he'll have to be a Leo, I think. He'll have to be a Leo, you know.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so.
I think he'll have to be a Leo, like, yeah,
He
or
he
something.
would he would have to be the Leo, that the persona of what
Yes,
people usually think Leos are.
are,
'Cause I
yes.
don't think we're like that.
No,
But
I'm not.
the the typical whatever people think. If you're a Leo,
That's
like
it.
it's, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, Fluffy would represent that Leo.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. But sometimes people say I'm a Leo, but I'm not like that. But yeah, I think Senior Fluffy will be the persona of a Leo. Everything they say, that's him.
Right. Yeah, I had a cat growing up, and that's why I don't have a cat now because I think I had a bougie cat. Like
Mhm. Oh my gosh.
the cat would be like looking at you, like, I know you don't think you're gonna sit here, you better go sit over there somewhere. And and then it was like always attacking things. But my brother was the animal lover, so we had
Mhm.
everything. So now I'm a bird person, so I'm not really like in that cat dog world, which is not too many of us, but
Yeah,
all my friends love cats.
I
Yeah.
love that. And they have so much catitude now. Like now, long time, you see a cat, you might throw water at it. Now they like watching you, like, excuse you, we don't fall for
Yeah.
that. We don't. It's like
Yeah.
it's
That's how
absolute.
my cat was. Long time ago.
Yeah.
Attitude. Like, really? It's like that?
Sometimes on Instagram and TikTok, I watch a lot of animal videos sometimes, and I was like, the things these animals do is like what? Yeah. It have a guy
Mm.
and a dog called Knox. That dog have attitude. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you ever, I can't remember the name of it, but it's this brown dog and he watch a lot of videos and sometimes like he want the dog to do it. But as he go to touch the dog just give him the side and he runs. Knox is his name. Oh my God. People just be blowing up. I said, that is a dog. That dog is so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. So tell us about some of the I guess awards or recognition that you have received probably since. I mean, you can start um I guess in Brooklyn. That's the one I remember first.
Um,
From
oh, so
the
when I was in Brooklyn, I wrote well, I was in a few workshops, um, mostly the New York Coalition writers, and
mhm,
then I joined the Voices of Lefforts. So I have one story in the Voices of Lefforts, an anthology. It's called Pause for Knowledge, which is the first story on Senior Fluffy. And I don't even have the book, it's in
mhm,
the store. It's my first piece on Senior Fluffy that I got. And then I have five anthologies through the New York Coalition Writers. So that's six in all.
mhm,
Yeah, so I have six short anthologies. And then when I came home, I got this little plaque there from one of the libraries in Trinidad. It's just to say that well, something there. I don't know. It has my name and it has the
it
book.
just to say
First
that
time
you're
authors, yeah.
from there and you're just
No,
doing a
first,
great job
yeah.
and what
And first time authors, but they only give you that recognition when you do your first book. You can't have no
wow.
other book, just your first book. Once you're Trinidadian descent or parentage or anything, yes. And you write a book, even if you're abroad, you will get it.
Mhm.
And they
That's
have one
great.
of my, yeah.
It
And yeah,
also seems like in I guess in the Caribbean it may be more how you say a sense of appreciation and recognition for, well, not to say that they don't recognize people here, but they do.
mhm,
But it seems like it's a tighter um or more just honored to know, oh, she's from Trinidad and she wrote this book. Like just
yeah,
a more of a push or appreciation for writers that come from, wherever the because it was in Trinidad, and then did you were you in another paper too, in another island, or is
well,
it?
it's really Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is, it's two islands and we're separated, of course, by water. But when most people speaking about Trinidad, they say Tobago, but it's two separate places.
Mm-hmm.
But the Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But
And then go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish with
Yeah.
your awards.
Oh yes, and I've been in the papers a few times. This one is where a minister, he did my I had a lunch in the mall where my mom have a shop, and I had a nice lunch there.
Right.
And then he read. He was so mesmerized. The man spoke like he knew me. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I that was the one in the mall. Yeah, I saw that one.
yeah. And he
Yeah.
spoke like he knew me, and I was like, who is this man? And he
Right. I
said,
thought he did know you. And that's what I mean about just the fact that you're from there and you're a local is
"Mhm,
it's like the way that they just gravitate to celebrate what you're doing is
yeah,
wonderful, you know?
yeah." It felt nice to like he didn't even know me, and he spoke about me just like if he did. He spoke about the book like if he knew actually. Maybe he read it because and it was like did I meet this man before? But it was so nice to be celebrated like that. And then I had a few other lunches, and I've been on a few podcasts. I've been on a radio show in Trinidad, and I got to read somebody called the studio because I didn't know
Right.
anything about it. And they say it usually take months to get on there. And I think when she told the people about me, I think they called me the second week. And I was like, no, I cannot do it because I don't have my computer. I don't know, you could have do it on your phone. And the man say, well, if you do it now, it might take months for you. I said, okay, I'll do it next time. And then
Yeah.
something said,
I
no,
mean, for
take
your
this
information, I
opportunity.
use my phone for all my interviews since I've been
Yes,
doing them. And I
yes,
have a computer and it doesn't make a difference. So
yes,
get
yes.
that one, Hazel.
Yeah. No, I used to get trouble with the phone with the Zoom now. So I believe that I only could do it on my computer. Then I realized, no, let me do it on my phone because you see they would have just call me, hook up the studio. I could
Hmm.
see them and stuff. And then something in my head said, don't miss this opportunity. So I
Right.
called back my friend and then I said, tell the guy to call me. And when they call me back, I say, I was thinking that I have to have Zoom on my computer, but I didn't know. And I really, really love this opportunity. And I spoke a little about myself, but I didn't know if I could like speak plenty when people speaking after and stuff. So I told them basically what the story is about, and they asked me to read a chapter. When I read the first chapter, the man was like, "Oh hell no, this cat, what he say?" He said, "Read the
What?
next chapter."
Uh-huh.
And when I read the second one, he said, "Nah, man, read the next one." And I
Right.
read three
Well, you
chapters.
you are gonna read some, right?
If
Yes,
you
of
want me
course.
to,
Of course. I mean,
yeah, I
and
read.
that's another part of it too. It's like your reading voice, you go into character and
Mm,
it flows, and that's when it really comes alive, like, your whole tone and just how you take it. And yeah, so definitely you have to read.
yeah, but
I like
but
the
mm-hmm.
huh? I
No,
like
saying
the
that.
I like the part when Fluffy leaves or finds out that he's gonna be
That
moving
is
and
what.
coming to Brooklyn, and his
Oh.
expression. And it's funny. It makes me think of a lady that was from Paris, and
Mm-hmm.
she was describing like the smell, like New York. She was like,
Yes.
this. She said, New York. I don't even want to tell you what she said out. But it smells like it just wasn't a good smell. And that's
Yes.
what her coming here, that was what stayed with her, just the smell of New
Yeah.
York in its
Yeah.
worst way. And I think she said that like in London or in Paris, like some of the local, like some of the products that we buy are like just regular
Mm-hmm.
stuff, like in the drugstore there. But here they're more you know, like they're more high end, but they're just regular.
Yes. Uh,
So you
yeah.
never
I
know.
had a good time and I could only remember my good times in Brooklyn. I had so much fun being there that I don't even smell new. What I can
Mhm.
smell now is the latte that Senior Fluffy had at John's Deli and East 18. They make the best vanilla latte. Sometimes I used to be sleeping and get up at night and come downstairs after 1 in the morning just to go and buy some. I used to dream about this latte until I found that it was coffee I was drinking. I thought it was
Wow.
just a tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah.
Mm. So you want to read some Fluffy? Or is
Okay.
it something else you want that you have hidden that you want to let us know about?
No, no, hidden. I have some poems, but no, I can read.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. What?
Wherever you
Hmm.
like to take it.
Let's see. I could read Off to New York City. Shadow. I can read chapter page 3, chapter 2, I think this is. Did
Just
somebody go and get their book? Did somebody go and get their book? Oh, I have to
yeah.
autograph it for you.
Only thing, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That's the only thing about this book.
that's what all people are asking me for. When you come in to autograph my book, I say, do you see where I am? Some people wanted to send their books for me to autograph. I said, no. So I can read page 3 off to New York City.
Well, I just hope that you'll be coming back to Brooklyn and I'll get my book signed then or the next one.
Yeah. Maybe you could read a piece and I could read something. Let me hear your interpretation of it. And then I could.
Yeah, but I don't think I could do Fluffy. You do
No,
Fluffy
do your own, do it in
so
your,
well.
that's okay.
But that's good. That's funny that you said that because we're having the first poetry festival here in Brooklyn for Fort Greene Park, and Cheryl Boyce Taylor was the opening speaker, and one of the things she shared was like, you know, when you write that you should have somebody else read what you wrote so
Yes,
that you can hear
yes.
how it comes across, which is something that was I think good advice because I think, and you would know when you're in workshops, especially when you're just writing to prompts,
Yeah.
or unless you're like Lajira, who also I think just had another book come out.
Yes.
Kudos to all the writers that we would write with. Everyone's taking those things and making it happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so excited when I see that happen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you this because hold on. Well, this is I think my thing is a little blurry, but this is Dora Gray's
Oh, that's
cover.
it. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And this was the story, a stringy situation.
The stringy situation,
Right, you
yes.
remember it was like her
Yeah, I
thesis
remember it
for
well.
yeah, and she did it. And yeah, I think I have Eugene's book, The
Yeah.
Messenger.
I
Yeah.
have that too. I have that here. I had bought it
Mhm.
when it, yeah.
He's doing a
Uh-huh.
lot of photography now.
Uh-huh.
He's in Philly.
Yes. You must tell him I
So
said hi and I tell him I said hello. Next time you hear
yeah.
from him.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I'll get to go and check on him. Yeah, he
Yes.
usually comes up every once in a while, always checks on me.
Yes. Yes.
And that's one good thing, when you're a writer and you know people that
Yes.
support you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a lot of people, but the people that do, you
Mhm.
remember. And I can say that I always remember he always would call me and say, "How's the book going? How's the book going?"
Yes.
I have two people that call me and say that. But it would be a different thing, like I was telling you earlier, how you like I watch you and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's doing, who's her publicist? She's doing a great job. So don't worry about that because you got it. And
Mm.
I
But
just,
do you
you know,
know
huh?
do you know when I was in Kim's class at Brooklyn Ethical, when Eugene did were you there that day that he got the publisher was there interviewing him?
Oh
When
yes. Don't
did you,
remind me what he
yeah,
said.
did you know she came up to me after and asked me where I got the ideas for my book to my fairy tales, and she gave me all her numbers, and she told me to bring some of my work and check her. And I never did. And I told
Mhm.
Robert and I told Kim.
Why you freeze? Hello? Uh-uh.
Peace.
Oh, Lord. You know what? Wait a minute. This thing, I had paused it. I hope not. I had paused it when it, oh God.
That's okay. All those things is everybody. Those things are beyond me. I have to just continue.
Okay, so I had a little technical difficulty. So I'm not sure. We still have Hazel, and we're gonna hear about Fluffy. She's gonna read some live Fluffy. And before that, I think it was a part that we missed. I was just giving her more praises about how much of a wonderful, what a wonderful job she's doing, and where she's gonna end up. This book is gonna take her, and the blessing of having supportive people around you from her community. And she was saying the person in the mall that made the introduction as a new writer, that she felt like he knew her, but he didn't know her. But it was the fact that you were family because you're from there. And it's um, that honor that people have to support other writers, especially when it's your hometown, you know. And I, I mean, New York is a big, as you know, big pond, as they say.
Mhm.
So it may be a little different here. So to be able to bask in the admiration and, you know, for your work in your
Mhm.
place where you're from, that in itself is like an honor. And I think it was another person this year that had started a nonprofit. She's from Haiti, and it's like a group of uh, and I had just seen her, and she had got honored Women of Power, and I was like, and then just last night I saw her do an interview, and she was saying how much she appreciates like the honors and so forth, because you want your flowers while you're living,
Yes.
and it's something that someone gave you while you're here. And so, which and I said, yeah, it's nothing wrong with being appreciated. I mean, because that's why people do write. You write because you want this book to touch someone in a place, to
Mhm.
make them happy. And this book
Yes.
definitely does. You have a passion about it that, from 11, I think you said, you
Mhm.
want to be a writer, and you're doing it every day, and you're following the dream that's going to take you and Fluffy back to Paris.
Yeah.
Um, Fluffy might not be getting all the accolades at that time, so I don't know what Fluffy gonna end up doing to you. But yeah, you're on your way. And like I said, I'm just so honored and so happy to know you, because you really do have a gift and a voice to
Mhm.
express what you write with your words. And that in itself is a gift. So I'm going to let you go into your
Thank you
senior
so much. It's so
Fluffy,
awesome.
your cat's tail.
Darling, you have way too many scales and spikes for me. And don't get me started on her third eye. I mean, who has that? Wait, I wonder if she sees three of me. If she does, good for her. I bet I'm even better looking in triplicate. This grotty, uncomfortable pet cage should be condemned for being so small, not to mention smelly and dotted here and there with leftover fur from all the creatures who have been stored there before me. I shudder to think As I leave the plane, these airline people with their fake plastic smiles have the audacity to ask me if I had a good flight. They invited me to come again, as if I had to take a deep breath, breathe deeply, and mentally chant the Buddhist mantra, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, 20 times just to calm myself and keep safe. More?
Yes.
More? Sweat was soaking into my shiny coat, my fur sticking as if glued to my skin. As Madame Dubois carried me through customs and then went to pick up a few duty-free items. I don't even know why they call them duty-free when you still have to pay for it. While waiting for the air train to arrive, I noticed it was a beautiful sunny spring day with a nice breeze circulating. The ride was free and quick. We arrived at the bus stop just as a B35 Limited pulled up. As we got on the semi-crowded bus, I couldn't help but notice the charging ports positioned at every row of seats. There were even stickers of the Wi-Fi symbol adhered to the glass windows to indicate that the bus comes equipped with Wi-Fi. I'll admit that it was quite an improvement from the last time I visited Brooklyn. If I had a device on me and there was something worth watching, I would have been in seventh heaven. No? Okay.
Yes.
A few people and cats got on and off the bus as we traveled along Church Avenue. I love watching people and cats, even though they're, well, not exactly of the class and vintage of the people and cats in Gay Paris. Still and all, I love to see their interactions, how they dress, walk, talk, hiss, and meow. It's better than reality TV. Suddenly, a cat sat down next to me. Please, not so close. I gave him a look that said, step back and find your place, please. But this brazen animal grinned at me as if we used to play football. Wagwan, he said in a thick Jamaican accent. I was out of my seat faster than you can say tuna sandwich. How dare he speak to me, a high society Parisian cat? We finally made it to Church Avenue by the B&Q train station. As we crossed the street, I noticed the delis on both corners, a Payless shoe store, and two Bobby's department store. We are the third building on the right after the deli. I stared up at the nondescript cream suburban apartment block, my whiskers twitching in dismay. Why did Madame Dubois have to come to Church Avenue? Why not somewhere more benefiting of my status, like Park Slope, Manhattan, or Grand Army Plaza? At least I'll have the Parkway and the triumphant arch to remind me of Champs-Élysées. I growled and I didn't care if she heard me. This was unsuitable, unbefitting on everything. I think I pronounced Champs-Élysées wrong. Élysées, I can't remember. Anyway. Sorry, I try to laugh too much.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you gotta go. Surely this cannot be my new apartment.
Oh, surely this cannot be my new apartment. We mounted the stoop outside the building, weaseling our way through the door and into the small, overcrowded elevator with our luggage and baggage. Back in Paris, we had our own elevator, which went all the way to the top. Here, we were rubbing shoulders with the hoi polloi. How the mighty have fallen. If looks could kill, Madame Dubois would have dropped to the ground under my baleful yellow glare. As we stepped inside apartment 3B, I was taken aback by how small it was. Calling it quaint would have been kind. I cannot believe this is going to be my new home. Madame Dubois did not even get a two-bedroom for us. It's a one-bedroom that looks more like a studio apartment. What a few sticks of matches is going on here? Where am I going to sleep? I hiss. She pointed her long, pale, bony. She pointed her long, pale, bony finger at the corner by the front hallway closet. My eyes bugged. This broad has got to be kidding, because all I saw was a plain, prickly mat that reminded me of a lone cactus in the wilderness. Did this woman really expect me to sleep there? A few tears escaped my eyes. My very first day in New York City. Not even a bedroom with a bed, but a mat in the corner by the front hallway closet. I, Senor Fluffy, a high-class Parisian cat, a high-class society Parisian cat of good breeding, sleeping in the corner on a mat. Mind-blowing, infuriating, the audacity of this no-good cow after all I've done for her. If word ever got out, I don't think I would be able to hold my head up in Paris again. I would be the laughing stock of Ville des Chats. I tried to settle in. Honest, I did. But I spent most of the time curled up on the windowsill, longing for my old life back. Glancing down below, I'm amazed at how many times people go in and out of the building to the store or the restaurant. Don't they ever take a list and get everything the first time when they're out? And these people consider themselves the superior species of, that's it? No? No?
Finish.
After a week, I'm still sleeping in the corner, but on a neon pink suede tin bed that Madame Dupois bought for me at Bobby's for $3.99. Yes, you heard me right. $3.99 American cents. Oh, the injustice of it all. Her excuse is that she found it adorable, and being the last one was discounted from $5.99. What the heck is going on? Imagine me, Senor Fluffy, sleeping in the corner on a neon pink tent bed that was on sale. If I thought I wasn't the laughing stock of Paris before, I'm certainly going to be now. Although between you and me and the litter box, after cleaning it out, I realized that it wasn't half bad. In fact, quite soft and comfortable. The door that guaranteed me some sort of privacy. But she doesn't have to know I'm okay with it.
That is too funny.
That
Too
did it.
much fluffy. And I would have to agree about thank you, Hazel. That
You're
you know,
welcome.
going, I'm just into the story. And the observation about how people go to the store, like, don't they have a, don't they take a list of what they need? And I can relate to that because I hate going to the store. Like, and I wonder myself, like, what? I've never, like,
Yeah.
when I first moved back to New York, I was like, I agree with Fluffy. And these are
Mm.
the superior people.
It'd be
Well,
great to
thank
visit.
you for all your sharing. And like I said, you your whole presentation, from what I see you doing, you're doing a marvelous job. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Don't worry about it. You're doing a great job, a wonderful job. And anything I can
Thank
do
you.
to help you along, just just let me know. Yeah. So thank you for being a part of the Future Legends. but sharing your time and talent with us today on the Ketriana Yvonne Show, which airs the first Monday and Wednesday of every month, and other shows on the HD channel. And we also are on YouTube, the Ketriana Yvonne Show, YouTube. So look for Hazel Ann Lynch, Senior Fluffy, A Cat's Tale, on Amazon, and she will be doing a book 2 soon, and you will see more of her, and you can remember that you saw her here. So thank you. And thank you, Hazel, for spending your time discussing Fluffy and for creating Fluffy and bringing him to life.
Oh, thank you. That's so wonderful to be on your show. Thank you for this opportunity. It's well appreciated.